All right. Guess we'll wait and see if anybody sees this. Probably should have advertised it better. But if anybody wants to go through and listen, what we're going to be doing is going over some of the fancy things to look for. And then I got a stack of 500 that I'm going to go through real quick and look for, or 100 fives. Not looking for something fancy to look at. So let's just go. Let's just start off going through the fives, and then I'll go through these a little bit later. And let's see what we've got going here. And see if I can separate these out a little bit. All right. So we're just going to tilt this a little bit so we're, there we go. So, no fancy serial numbers there, no noticeable ink smudges. 37818323. Got some repetitive going on there, but nothing big. Nothing there. Oh. Got 4 threes, but that's not enough to do anything. 2003. Oh, what was this one here? Nope, that is a 2013 also. 2017A, 4003. Nope. 2021, 101, 69, 680. Nope. This one really worn out. 13-year-old note. 2280, 3124. 8795, 8817A. Nope. Another 2021, 45, 42, 43. Yep, almost a quad there. Not quite. 81, 41, 75, 89. Nope. 2017A, 34, 83, 72, 24. Nope, nothing there. I'm gonna do this real quick just to make sure that I'm 2017A, 34, 80. Silence that. Okay, I got somebody watching. Oh, cool. Didn't realize anybody'd come in. So this is what I'm looking at, and I'm going to go through these, and then I'm going to go through ones that I've found, just so y'all know that you can find some of this stuff. This is the first time I've gone through fives, so it's like my first thing going through fives, so it won't be, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the stuff. I'm just looking for older things and actual fancy serial numbers or anything that's a noticeable mint error. I'm not going to go through a whole lot. Yeah, sound's still working. Be my luck, I get going with this and start paying attention, my mic stops working. 89, 60, 22A. Nope. 2013. 6 amp. Nope. 26980065. Yeah, things to look at, and it's hard to tell if these first 3 numbers are missing. That's really easy to glance over because you just look at the end and do that. 621, 22, 851. Because according to, what is it, Blue Ridge Silverhound, he did something on that one that one of the last ones is missing. It's a machine error, but if one of the first couple of numbers is missing, that's a human error because the machine only, they only do like 1,000 or 2,000, something like 10,000, something like that a run. So first 4 digits are machines our first 4 digits are human, second 4 digits are machine. 1921. And this is my first time going over 5, so I don't know what I'll find here, and I'm liable to miss stuff just because I'm not used to looking at them. Yeah. It has 2 8s in the middle, but nothing else there to make it a radar, which I actually have an example of a radar over here. This is what a radar looks like. It reads the same both ways, so 12033021. I got examples of what I found with the ones over here that I'm going to go over throughout the thing just to try to keep it interesting, because I don't know if I'm going to find anything or not, but I want to show you something. Oh, and then still nothing here. And I don't know how good I am at vamping, so hopefully it won't be too boring. But nope, nothing there. But like I said, just kind of look at the numbers, looking for repeated digits, repeated patterns, plain errors, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm used to going through 1s, not 5s, so a little bit different format here, so I might not always have this one going right. Well, starts off with a month, but there's no 94 days in a month, so, and no year 5528 yet, unless you're using a different calendar. Some calendars, I think we are in the 5,000 zone. Oh, it's close, 4455, but yep, halfway to a good number there. 2021 here looks like it's a little bit worn more than most are. Yeah, I got where's my birthday notes? I got a stack of birthday notes here somewhere. That's my older notes. I think yeah, these are the birthday notes. This is like 9/19 1987, 9/22 2004. This one here is more of a military style, 1961, September 1. I've been told they're worth about $20. I haven't tried selling any of them because you got to find somebody who actually has that birthday. December 7th, 1920. That person would be 105 years old, so probably doesn't exist anymore, or probably exists, but not willing to buy stuff. This one here is another one, Civil War era, 1859, 5/15. 9/21, 2042. 1920, November 28th. November 29th, 1948. Oh, guess I can show you that one there. Again, military style, 1972, 6/7. 1948, 2/1. 1944, 5/25. But, you know, this is like one of the better ones. 87 would be somebody just under 40 years old in their late 30s, I guess. Isn't that right? 97. Yeah, late 30s. This one's 2004, so it's be somebody who turns 21 this year. 61, that'd be somebody a couple of years older than I am. And then we get into the older ones. But yeah, a lot of these are, I'm hoping they're selling. I'm going to start putting all these things up on eBay. I'm a little bit apprehensive because I'm not sure. I've had health issues lately, and I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything that somebody's going to buy something and then I'm going to have a issue and not be able to get to the bank. But apparently I am doing better, so I'm going to see if I can make a little bit extra money, because I got those and I got other ones over here to put in the bank too, or to show y'all. Yeah, that's the radar I showed a couple of minutes ago. This is the radar I showed a couple of minutes ago. But I got some other ones over there I'll show during the time. But I'm hoping, I've heard other people like Couch Collectibles and stuff like that say that they're worth about $15 to $20 if you got them in decent condition. Like, one in this condition will be worth more than one in this condition. So you can see the difference there. So condition does matter still for how much it's worth. Oh, had the two center ones being the same, but nothing else there. But other than that, I'm looking for birthday notes like 12.15, but then you got 27.99. Not unless you're a time traveler, and that's got 27.99. That's what 700 years in the future, almost 800 years. This one here has 3 pairs, but you need the 4th one for it to be good. You have 3 3s, 2 0s, 2 9s, and then you got the 1 7 sticking out there. 49, 419, 495. 3 9s, 3 4s, but the 1 and 5 just aren't a pattern that speaks to me. And that's one thing on the iffy things. It's just like, okay, does it speak to you? Because there's no guarantee that, like a trinary or something like that's going to ever sell, just because there's so many of them out there. I I got a whole stack of them behind me that I've kept that are kind of cool. And I kept these because I got these 2 that are really nice. I got 1 and 2 both in here. I think that's what the other one is. Oh, yep, I got it. I got 20 or 2120 1201 and 2120 1202. And they're just in pristine condition, but they're also, I guess, what you'd call a true trinary, but they're like 1 in 20 or 1 in there's a lot of them there's a lot of them in production. So I don't know if a trinary is actually going to ever be worth anything unless it's just something that speaks to somebody. $17.67, yeah. And I miss stuff on occasion too. I got one over here that I flat out missed whenever I found it. I went through this one. Somebody pointed out in the chat that because I thought, oh, this is just a common star note, and then somebody pointed out, going like, no, that's a mixed ladder because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0 through 7 is a mixed ladder. So this is a star note with a mixed ladder. So that one's worth, people pay stuff for that one. I don't know how much, but I'll put it up on eBay and find out, I guess. Nope, nothing on that one. And like I said, I got the stack of $5 bills just to go through them because I hadn't gone through any before, and it just seemed like something different to do. $713.80.82. Oh, and the writing on it really makes these worth money. Yeah. If you ever write on a bill, make sure the serial number is not a good one because it will really knock down the value of them. Like I said, 53, 54, 2380. Nope. But a lot of things you want to look for on these one, make sure the beginning letters and ending letter match. And like I said, according to Blue Ridge, the first 4 digits are set by humans, so they're the same for the entire batch, and then they run out 1,000 notes, and the last 4 digits are counted up by the machine. So if it's a mechanical error, it'll probably be one of the last couple of digits messing up. If it's a human error, it'll be one of the first ones messing up. That won't match. And like I said, I just go through and I've been just collecting data. I'm not an expert on this, but I've been paying attention and just going through it for fun because it's interesting and it's something fun to learn about. 23, 45, 44, 89. And you get a lot of them that just seem like they should be something. They aren't just quite there. Yeah. And again, like I said, the writing on them really doesn't help any. Uh, 1919. It's a repeater. These will be 106 years ago for a year, but nothing with the other two numbers. You got to have the times you can get away with them not being all the same are whenever you have like something like this, because that one there is 7 2s with that 3 stuck in the middle. To be worth more if the 3 was right at the beginning or end, but I've been told these are worth 60, 70, maybe a little bit more money. But 1320, almost a date. 1320, 1950. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know how exciting these things. Like I said, I go through and watch these, but I got a lot of free time on my hands nowadays. So 59, 22, 80, 92, 388. Guess it'll help if I go through these faster because let's face it, most bills, if I go through 100 bills, if I find 2 or 3 of them that are actually something good, like this one here looks like it could be something good, but you got the 22525, then the 648, which just throws everything off kilter. 12, 11, 20, 70. Eh, 7 being thrown in there makes it not a trinary. Eh, like I said, there's so many almost. 588, 377, 81. Where the heck did I leave my phone laying down at? 37. I know somebody's going to call me on it. 2013. Yeah. Not sure when they made the change. I think the banks have probably been pulling all the older ones out of. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close, good start for a ladder. And 30, 39. That one there has a lot of trinaries and stuff. Hey. Yeah, I watch that's a God, I'm gonna mispronounce that thing, but I'm pretty sure I watch your channel. So what you did the oh no, it's Dub C the one that did the coin collecting. You normally do the Morgans. I like looking at Morgans. They're nice. But yeah, I've been fancies are good, and I had eye doctors beat up my eyes last Friday, and then or not yesterday, but a week ago Friday, and then again Monday. And my swelling my eyes just now coming down, so I hadn't been looking at anything smaller. So I've been doing a lot of fancies this week, just because bills are big and easy to look at. 222, 80. But like I said, I pulled some of them out just so I can show people, like oh god, what are some of these other ones? That's I got like a 6 of a kind here, 6 7s, 6 8s. Unfortunately, they aren't together. And I go, oh, what are the other ones I have? Have the repeater 6720, 67, or no, this is almost a repeater 6720, 7620. Still 4 quads, but I'm not sure how much those are worth. And then I got all my rare star notes, like this one here is 2021. It's from a 640,000 run, 3.4 million. I got them up here. I got my duplicate star notes. I got a couple of them from the duplicate runs that they did from 2013. Got the Fort Worth ones and found those. I got a couple of web notes I found. This was a common one. This is a rare one from 1886. So I've, like I said, I've just been going through these things trying to find fun things to look at. Yep, forgot to turn that one over. Oh, look at that one full. Yeah. Yeah, not organized. I hadn't been. Oh, 00101. I just need a couple more zeros and ones there, and I could be playing the Bender thing. 966. Eh, 00 is not a year, but that's almost a low serial number. If that one would have been a 0, that would have been a lower serial number. That would have been kind of good, but that's the coolest thing I've found so far. I'm going to set it back, although I don't think it's not valuable, but just looks neat. And we do this for fun, damn it. So. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 4s, 2 2s, 2 1s, and an 8 and a 3. And that's the way life goes. 31, 54, 70, 40. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a lot of close calls. I don't know how good fives are in this area because, like I said, I don't normally look at them. I get 501s, and that gives me something to do for a while. But 891, 29.99. Yeah. 4 9s, but 180. Yeah. Is it Masa Bezik? Gold and silver. Yeah. 57.69. Yeah. Well, appreciate y'all sitting in and watching it. I finally hit 500 followers, so I don't know how long that's last. It's come and gone 3 times today since I hit 500 initially. But it's fun. Oh, 00112762. Almost 4 pairs. I've still never found a true, I've never found a true binary that's just zeros and ones. And sometimes I lose my train of thought while I'm halfway through it. I can, what do they call it? I can multitask. I can forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it. 70 08 06 19. And being dyslexic helps so much on this. 81 29 89 49. Nope. That one's worn out. 8005. 4 8s and 015. Just gotta have more than 4 of a good number to make a good number. 60 36 25 29. And I'm not used to doing live, so if somebody chats and I miss it, I apologize. I do look up on occasion, but I tend to get fixated, and I'm just not used to looking at them. But 1936, 4785. Oh, and that person would be like 90 years old, 88. 78, 79. Yeah, still missing a little bit. Hope the sound's okay with this. I can always move the mic closer if I need to. Although I don't want to blow anybody out if they're wearing headphones. 90, 23, 79, 36. Nope, 80, 58, 43, 49. One five nine five nine. Yeah. Again, I like seeing patterns and things, but there's not always a good pattern in here. That's why I kept some of the older dates. I go through on what happened on this day to see, if anything interesting happened on that day. And then I forget to write it down and promptly forget why I kept the bill. But I hadn't found anything that's a really spectacular day. I found not Madame Harry or Madame Curie, her husband. I found one that was her husband's birthday, and nobody remembers who he is, although he was working with her on her work with uranium that ended up killing both of them because they didn't realize it was going to cause them to have all sorts of bad problems. But I found one of those. I kept one bill just because it was the number on it was the serial number was 0045 1911. I'm going like, well, a 1911's a 45, so yeah, that's cool to me. I'm good with that one. I don't know anybody that wants it, but I thought it was cool, so I kept it. 574 71473. But I do, whenever I find anything that's actually a date, I go on what happened on this date to find out if anything. I hadn't found anything that's really significant happening. Oh God, this is so close. 774433. Just at 8 and 3. I wonder if anybody noticed if I got a green marker and made that 3 into an 8. I wonder if anybody noticed. That would make this a good radar, but just so many of them that are just off by one. I think that'd get me a call from Stupak though if I tried to sell it. That's not a real one. 09678645. Nope, almost done with these. No, I'll go through the ones I have here that are pretty cool. That things I have found going through ones. I don't have all the star notes. Yeah, that's it. Nothing real exciting going through this thing of fives, but that one and that near miss on the yeah, I'd already lost it. Should have pulled that one out anyway. That one. That one's pretty cool. Starts off cool, and like I said, that one's pretty cool. But things that I have found, like I said, I got these two trinaries. These are ones I pull everything that's a 1999 and older out. And the oldest one I found is this one here that's 1969A, and I believe these were printed in 1970 is when they actually got printed. And I can tell that because I have a book. I think this book right here tells me when each run was printed. This one does too, but this one has more values in it. So I'll look up some of the stuff in that one. That's what I looked this web note up in to find out it was a rare web note. Although it's a rare web note, but it's in worse condition because it has some. Looks like it's been involved in a bank robbery at some point in time because that looks like the ink off the die packs. This one's from 1988A, but it's a web note because you can tell because the 3 there doesn't. It just has a number there. If it was regular print, it would have a letter, some letters in front of it. And the way to tell it is that you have, on the back, you also have a plate number up here. normal plate numbers down there. This one here's what, an 88A. I believe I have a older 88A. I kept this one. This one's a pseudo flipper, but I found this one. I didn't even realize it was 77A. I'm going like, oh, a flipper, because you know we read the numbers both ways. Although the ones are a little bit off-putting on that one, but see, what was that one? An 88A. You can get one. See a normal 88A. Put both these up here. This one right here, you got the plate number there, and this one here, the plate number has an A in front of it. If it had for an 88A, is the first time you'll have an FW. If it's an FW, it's done in Fort Worth. If it's any other letter, it was done and printed up in Dallas, or not Dallas, Washington D.C. And then I believe, I'll pull that out real quick. On the other side, you got plate numbers here. On the web, this web note, you don't. I got another web note. Where's my other web note? Oh, here it is. Yeah, web notes, you don't have the plate number on the left side, whereas the regular notes you do. And then on the back, you have the plate number for the regular notes down here. In web notes, it's above the 1. So that's the difference between a web note and a regular. And these are, like I said, these are both 1888As. I think this one's an 88A also, isn't it? Nope, this one's a 95. This is a 1995 web note. This is the last year they made the web notes. This is the first year they made the web notes. Or no, 88's the first year they made the web notes. So, and like I said, these are just the older notes I've found. And figure out where to put that one out there. I found them as old as 68A in here, and I keep everything from 99. So most of these are actually 95, actually, but. And oh yeah, this is just the oldest one I found, so I got it in a little bit of a special holder. I got let me put that back in the web note thing over here so I don't forget what it is. Then you have God, I'm messing all my stuff up over here. This right here is just another flipper that I had that's in really good shape. 6 9s and 0s. This is actually closer to a true flipper, or an 8. Although I think I've had some people say the 8 isn't really it either, because this, you know, one loop's bigger than the other. But I hadn't found one that's just 0, 6, and 9s yet. This is one of the ones they duplicated, that they printed out duplicates. Oh, that's the other duplicate. And God, why'd I put the web note thing in that one? All right. Yep, these two are my duplicates that I've found. And here's the other web note. Trying to keep things straight. But okay, that's my web notes. Like I said, these are the birthday notes I found, and like some of these are pretty much, you know, like a couple of these are from the 18 Civil War era. I think the one from that I showed that was in bad shape, that was from 22 2004, 44 1920. Yeah, this one here. I think this one here, that was Madame Curie's husband's birth date. I think that was back when that was. But then, you know, 42. This one's 1920, 48, 72. That one's somebody in their 50s. 48 again. So yeah, I hang on to a lot of them. If it's an older date, I try to make sure what if anything happened on it. But if nothing happened on that date, there's no reason to keep something from a date in the 1300s. I'll go through these real quick. This one here is it has 4 pairs. It's almost a repeater, but I actually got a repeater down here. Oh, that's not the repeater. This is one of the repeaters, 6751, 6751. So they do exist. And then I got a couple that are 6 of a kind. I got this one, and then I got the one that's mostly 2s. Yeah, that one's here somewhere too. Oh, there it is. And oddly enough, on both the ones that I have that are 7 of a kind, the same digit's messed up. It's the 3rd digit in both of them. Go figure on that one. But I actually got these 2 listed on eBay. I got to go through and put the price down. I put the price on them way too high because I had no idea how much they were worth. This one here I just pulled out because it's 5 in a row, and I don't find 5 in a row that often. I find 5 of a kind on a note, but not 5 in a row. And since this was a star note, I just set it off. I think that I'm pretty sure this is a common star note, but the 5 of a kind just kind of set it off, just like, this one right here is a common. Nope, not that one. This one here is a low run one. Where's that other star note I had? This one here. This is a common star note, but it's also a broken ladder because it has 0 through 7 on it. So those are pretty cool. And then, like I said, I had 6 of kind 8s, but unfortunately they're not together. 3 8s and 3 8s. Pearl Harbor was December 4th. But yeah, close. And it won 1920. Pearl Harbor was December 4th, 1941, I believe. 1920 would have been right after World War II ended. That was and then the peace dollars, they started making those in 21, but World War I ended in 1920, I believe. Oh God, yeah. And the radars are really cool. I just wish I could find them in better shape. I found 2 radars. This is the one I still have. 1203, 3021. Radars are pretty cool. This is another, 6 of a kind, 6 7s, but again, they're not together. My understanding, if you're getting like, 4, 5 of a kind's not really that rare, but having them together makes them a little less rare, or a little rarer, I guess, thing like that. But whenever you got like 6 of a kind, you in order for them to be worth money, according to my understandings, like I said, I haven't tried to sell any the 6 of a kinds online yet. You really need to have them together. Yeah, that's one of the really good ones. But yeah, that's just it. And like I said, I've been going through one since I started this last April a year ago. So I've been doing this a little over a year. Like I said, some of these, like 6 7, that's actually my mom's birthday, but she wasn't born in 72. She was born in 39. And then, you got 42, 48, 11, 28, 19, 20. Like I said, I don't expect to, from the 40s on, anybody alive then would be in their 80s, but I don't imagine they'd want to buy anything like this. I think, people that'd be more likely to buy it would be, somebody about to turn 21, or this right here would be somebody about to turn 20, or not 20, 64. This one here, 87, would be, God, having to do math, 40, turned 48 this year. So these would be more likely to sell for something, a more modern date, like 72. These from the 40s on, like I said, these people would have to be 44. Found a lot around 44. Like here's 5/25/44. That not sure when VE Day is. That I think that was in. Whenever I get in the 40s and stuff like that, I get confused on what days the war ended and what days were just prominent days in movies I've watched. So, if you ever got $2 bills, my understanding is the $2 bills from if they're like the 1995, I think was a series they did. If the number starts off 2000, those were actually printed in the year 2000. So if you run into one of those, hang on to one of those because that's just the Millennium bills that they made. I don't have any. I hadn't found any, or else I'd show you one. But I think that's about it. I don't know how long I've been going. 41 minutes. Well, thanks for watching. I've run out of things to go over. This is what I set out to kind of go over, and I think I hit it all in a very, very disorganized way. Oh, like I said on the star notes, these are the less than. I've got something like 200, a little over $200 in star notes, but I got these from like, this is a 2021, but it was from a 640,000 run, and they printed out 4.3 million. I got some of these from 500,000 from a 4.2 million run. This one right here, 640,000 from a 10.9 million run. Same run. 500,000 from a 9. Ow. I guess it helps I hold it right side up. 9.7 million run. And you can look all the run stuff up on mycurrencycollection.com. I got one of them that's actually from an 80,000. Yeah. This one right here was from an 80,000 run, but they made 12.8 million, almost 12.9 million of the San Francisco Star Notes that year. But this is from an 80,000 run, but they did 5 other runs where they did 3.2 million each, or 4 of the runs where they did 3.2 million each. So the best thing on these is to get a small run, or from a small run and a small printing from a small run. I haven't managed to do that yet. I've got small printings from large runs, or the smallest one I've have is a 4.025 million. 4.025 million from an 800,000 run that somebody wrote on. But yeah, but like I said, if you got some free time, these things are good fun to go and look at. I've tried putting a couple of notes on eBay. I've only managed to sell 2. One of them was a binary repeater. I think the serial number was 42444424, which was pretty cool. And one of them was one of my web notes. God, I already lost the web notes again. I stuck them down over here, didn't I? Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get organized, and it's going to scare the bejesus out of me. I sold a common web note on eBay for a little over $10, and the binary repeater I think I sold for a little over 40. Never deduct how much shipping and handling and everything costs for it. So that's the one thing on eBay. You have to always make sure that whatever you're selling, you're getting enough to actually pay for whatever it's going to cost. Because I know the actual shipping they paid for, but I still had to pay for the oh god, what is it? The a solid enough envelope to mail it without it being damaged in the process, and then I paid for, these little things. So if you're going to sell a star note for $3, make sure you aren't, spending more than $3 to get it shipped to them for the shipping material, because that they'll pay for the actual shipping, but you're paying for the shipping material. So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up now. We've been on what, 45 minutes, and that's longer than I've talked to anybody in about 3 weeks. So, I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'm probably going to put up some shorts on some of the things to look for with one of the notes. I haven't done, I think I've done like maybe 3 shorts in the last year, so I don't normally do them, but I'm gonna put up some shorts, just going, one short per about 30-second, 45-second thing for each type of thing to look for. So I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for stopping by, and appreciate you visiting. All right, have a good evening.